So this is a little bit of a different video. I don't usually do tags on this channel, but I thought this particular tag was pretty interesting and I really enjoyed watching it, so I thought I would give it a go myself. What I'm trying to do is alternate between 1 week Book of Fables, 1 week more wearable, normal, neutral stuff, so I feel that balances out my channel a bit more, and it's more reflective on me as a person, because I think I explained it in my last travel makeup video, but basically this is me 90% of the time, so hopefully this works out. So today's video is going to be on the Perfect palette, which I've really enjoyed watching because it opens up a world of new palettes that I may or may not have heard of, and I love listening to the reasons that people recommend or don't recommend palettes. I feel it's very real as opposed to, well, I don't know what else opposed to, but I just feel like it's a lot more genuine, so I'm gonna go with it. So the first one is best packaging, and I'm gonna call out the Lorac Pro palette right here. And the reason I picked this is just because look how thin it is. It's very, very thin. I mean, it's a bit long, but I just feel like you could slip this in with like a laptop holder or something. It's got all these really great, like a row of shimmery neutrally shades and then a row of more matte neutral shades, which I think is so versatile, and I just love how easy this is to take along with me to shoots, or if I'm staying overnight somewhere else, or just anything like that. And it's so pigmented, it's just such good quality. It works well with the sort of makeup I would wear to work, but it also works well as something I would wear if I was going out or on the weekend, that sort of thing. Wouldn't work well in a Book of Fables, but like I don't travel with makeup intending to do a Book of Fables. Next is best color payoff, and I would have to go with my Tom Ford palettes. Well, I shouldn't say palettes because not all of them have really great color payoff, but this one in particular does. This is the Cocoa Mirage, and mine is a little bit worse for wear. For this one here, you can see I've had to repress that again because when I got it in the mail, it was all shattered, and because I ordered it online from America, it wouldn't be very easy to just return. It would just cost me so much money, so I decided to just press it myself, and it's fine. I don't notice any degradation in the sort of quality there is, but these are so pigmented, and it should be. I think the palettes are like $80 Australian, so they're pretty pricey. Next is the most versatile palette. I'm gonna cheat a little bit and show you two because I can't really pick one. I think they're both pretty amazing. I feature these two in my Book of Fables series a lot just because there's so much variety of color. Admittedly, the quality probably isn't as amazing as, say, Tom Ford and the Urban Decay Naked palettes, but given the color range and the price especially, it's actually pretty amazing. So I'm gonna cheat. I'm very sorry. First is the BH Cosmetic 120 color palette. This is in one because I just tend to use one the most. And then the other one is the Coastal Scents 88 palette. So yes, they're pretty familiar to you guys. They work for me and they cover a whole color spectrum. Yeah, that's the Coastal Scents. And then the BH Cosmetic is kind of a tiered deal. So I'm just gonna, yeah. It's pretty good. And this is more all matte with some shimmer, but the other one is more shimmery, which works well for me, so I can mix it up. So usually if I'm doing a Book of Fables, I'll grab one of them depending on what sort of look I'm going for. If it's going to be really, something in my eye. If it's going to be really shimmery or it's just going to be more matte. So I'm not really sure if I even should be including this because I technically haven't brought it with me on travel before, but if I had to recommend a travel palette and if I was only allowed to have one for the rest of my life, it would probably be the Naked Basics palette. Just because it is so tiny, look, it's so little, it's very space efficient, and it comes with a really great range of colors. One kind of shimmery highlight and the rest are all matte, so that's really, really great. These are all super wearable colors for work, and my travel is like 50% pleasure, 50% work, so if I needed something to just meet all needs, I could use this. I'd probably wear it a little heavier if I was on holiday, and then I would go softer when it was for work. Okay, next is biggest regret. Now I feel like I'm going to be really abusing this tag because they say just show one, but I have a lot of palettes, and so I have a lot of great ones and a lot of big regrets, but I'm not going to show all of them to you. I think it's just a bit overkill, but I do have actually a lot of Coastal Scents palettes. I think I probably have like 5 or 6, and I really only use that one that I showed you, that the 88 palette, which was like the original palette or something like that. And I also have all the other BH Cosmetic palettes, as in version 2 and version 3. And I don't use any of them, I just use one. I think it's just sometimes when you have too much choice, you struggle to find one, and I'll just go with number 1 because it's there and it just makes sense to me, and then I just never touch the other ones. So to me, it's kind of a regret that I purchased all those additional palettes. And to be honest, I'm probably going to get rid of them because they're just taking up space and I never use them and it just seems wasteful. So I just need to find people who I can give them to. So yeah, the other palette though, which I do have here that I want to show you, is this one by Crush Cosmetics. It's like a whole bunch of baked eyeshadows. I mean, this looks really amazing and the pigmentation is not too bad. I wouldn't say it's out of this world, but it works a lot better wet, as do most baked palettes. The problem is it's kind of bulky and big, and it's just, given the size, the selection is very limited. So I just never use this. I bought it because it looked cool and I think it was like $20. A lot of these big palettes are actually quite cheap, but I think you get what you pay for. I bought a lot of them because I wanted a good color selection, but the quality is always just, it's never that great, so you usually need a lot of things to help it along. Best color names. So the one with the best color names is one I actually haven't used yet, and it's one by Sigma. It's like this little macaron box, and I haven't used it yet, so I have to take all like the sleeves and the packaging off. But it's like a little box of macarons, and I love all the names. There's like cherry blossom. It's like the flavors of like macaron. Cherry blossoms, vanilla whipped. I've not used any of these. I think I definitely would though. In a book of fables, these would work amazingly well. I don't know if they're pigmented or anything, so I can't speak about the quality, but I just thought the concept was really cute. Least used palette. So my least used palette is probably, actually there's a lot of palettes I don't use, but I'm just gonna call this one out because I'm actually already giving this away to whatever friend is willing to take it. And it is the NYX box of eyeshadows. So what is it with me and all these massive palettes? I swear, I think it's more telling than anything else. And I'm really just trying to downgrade and buy smaller, more high quality products rather than like massive products. It's kind of heavy. This is probably why I haven't used it. This is what it's like. You've got like a whole bunch of neutrals and then a whole bunch of colors. I'm not sure what the quality is like. I've just never used it before. I bought it because it was cheap, because it's by NYX, so I don't know how much it was, but it can't have been that much. Most big palettes usually are not that expensive. Last is the most used, the most loved, and the Desert Island palette. So I'm gonna cheat, and I'm gonna show you two, because one is kind of already a cheat. And the cheat one is probably the Uni Palette. Uni Cosmetics Palette. I think that's the name, this white one. Because, I mean, it's all my own creation, right? So it features a lot of products that I'm going to use, and yeah, it's all neutral. But this is pretty much my everyday palette, at least it used to be for many years. And it's just because I can customize it and put all the colors that I want in it. So I'm of course going to put ones that I want to use, but I don't know if that's cheating because I made that up myself rather than purchasing it. If I had to pick one that I was using right now, it would be this Avon palette in Mocha Latte. I got this a while back, so it's actually quite old. Not so great, but really trying to use it up. I just want to see if I can finish a palette for once in my life. So I actually do use this pretty much every day when I go to work. These are the two colors I use the most. This all over the lid and this into the crease. And I've gotten quite fond of it. I mean, it works really well, it does the job, but those aren't very unique colors. You can get them on almost any palette. Very readily available sort of shades. But I just want to try and use it up. It would be good to just focus in and try and use up as much makeup as I can. So that's it for the tag. Thank you so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed it. I'm still uncertain about these more conversational, normal sort of videos, but I hope you guys enjoy it because it's something that I probably can maintain on a more regular basis. I have tagged a bunch of beauty YouTubers down in the description box below, so even if your name's not in there, I would love to see you do this tag because I just want to learn more and I just want to know what everyone else recommends in the palette world, because I think most people can agree, especially most beauty YouTubers or bloggers, that palettes are kind of a weakness for everyone. It's just like an array of selections of colors and stuff. It's really fun. Again, thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys are having an amazing day. And until then, I will catch you guys in the next video. Bye!